If you're going to the No Kings protest, this reading is for you. Welcome back to the Mountain Witch Tarot channel. I am your host, Sarah, and today we are going to be doing an energy and outcome reading on the No Kings protest. There is so much enthusiasm and passion behind this movement, big energy of people coming together and working toward a common goal, strength in numbers. People are really dedicated to this and they're putting in the work. They have been putting in the work, planning long distance travels and doing all the things they need to prepare. And in a lot of ways, this is a joyous moment. This is very much a release for the built-up anxiety that we are all carrying around in our daily lives. And so there's this big energy of motion and moving forward and progress and just, really making leaps and bounds. And these are great cards for those of you who are doing the planning and the traveling. The cards show your efforts leading to success because you have remained focused and disciplined in showing up for your country and for democracy. And with the Chariot and the Lovers, you have emotional strength, you have balance, you have a great potential for achieving success. The Three of Wands and the Sun, of course, indicates growth and expansion. We do have an energy down here to kind of go along with this of teamwork and partnership and working together towards a common goal. And over here, we have a little bit of a different story, but we'll get to that. This part of the reading, though, we do have the Devil card. Now, I think a lot of people are fearful. I think a lot of people feel some anxiety, just as much as there are people who are rejoicing in this event and gung-ho about, the whole thing. There are still people who are feeling fearful about participating in this. And the oppression here with the Ten of Wands is kind of underlining the Devil card. The energy of the Devil is strong here because the oppression in the Ten of Wands is, as I mentioned, something we are all carrying around on our back right now. You're not alone in feeling overwhelmed and undermotivated in your daily life. Trust me, we are all feeling it. And that's one reason why this rally will serve as such a big release. Now, this can be quite an intimidating undertaking. Obviously, there are a lot of people wondering what will happen considering the state of things. We have ice on the ground all over the country in various different cities. And I think over here there is this anxiety surrounding the protest for a lot of people. Not for everybody. I don't think that everybody is seeing it from this perspective. But for the people who do, I think this is an important message. The Seven of Cups is like that phrase. It kind of comes to mind here. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but people say that anxiety is just an unfounded fear of the future, basically. It's a fear of things that haven't even happened yet. And there's no guarantee that those things will happen. And the Seven of Cups is very much kind of that energy here because, with the moon, we got two cards of illusion here, basically. And the Seven of Cups makes me feel like anxiety. And you're worrying about things that you don't know for sure will happen. And I would say that if you are considering not going because of fears of what might happen, I would say just go with friends, go with a group, stay with, people, and watch out for yourself. And I think it's a great thing to be able to participate in this. So we have the Eight of Wands here, which is a lot of fast movement. We have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is, displeasure and disappointment and not being happy with what you have. Or maybe in some instances, you may possibly not recognize the power that you have. And I think that's what the Four of Cups and the Eight of Wands are kind of referring to when you read them together as a pair, it's really kind of about not knowing your own strength and your own power, feeling like your power is not enough, but realistically, it is. And so don't let these fears and anxieties overwhelm you because you don't know your own power. The Knight of Wands, the Magician, the Empress. So the Empress talks a lot about expansion and things growing. And I think that this movement is expanding and growing. And I think that this is a good indicator that there will be more people at this one than we've seen in the previous instances of this particular protest. So with the Magician and the Knight of Wands, I feel like this is a good indicator that the people who have organized this have done more and more to get the word out and kind of spread the message. And the people who are traveling to these protests and are dedicating their time and effort to it, they've put in a lot of work to spread the word just by word of mouth. So this is a good indicator that this protest is going to be big and it's going to be powerful. And don't forget, this Eight of Wands over here is really feeling very important in this instance, because I just cannot stop thinking, for those of you attending, you don't realize your own power yet. But I think there's a good chance you might see it during this protest. And we know from the reports that are coming out of the White House that the Trump administration is scared. They're intimidated by this protest. They're intimidated by you and your power and how strong you are. So let's move all this to the side here. Let's talk about this oppression card, because we have the Ten of Wands here. And oppression, of course, is what has driven people out to these protests to begin with. The Justice card couldn't appear in a better place, honestly. In times of great oppression, she is desperately needed. And so it's really good to know that the energy of this card is attached to the No King's Day protest, because that truly is our goal. That's our main outcome. That's what we hope to see with these efforts. And we know that every single day in this country at this point, justice is not being served. Every day that Donald Trump continues to stomp on our Constitution and take away our human rights and, play the role of a dictator, justice is not being served. And so that's what this is really, truly all about. And so the Justice card showing up here reminds us that there is a way to rebalance this situation. And I think that this protest is, again, remembering this card over here with the Eight of Wands and knowing your power and knowing your strength. This is how we rebalance this country. And the Queen of Swords often shows up for me in these political readings to remind me of the American spirit. And I feel like right now with the Three of Swords, we're experiencing so much grief and heartache and just, complete and total heartbreak even on a daily basis, that the driving force behind this is so strong and overwhelming. The cards just keep wanting to talk about the strength of the American people, and they keep wanting to bring up this message of don't forget how strong you are. Don't fall prey to the illusions and the delusions that Donald Trump not only is constantly trying to push on us, but the illusions and delusions that he may want us to feel intimidated about this protest. He may want to deter us from this protest, but the American spirit has to prevail in order for justice to prevail. And I think being driven by the Three of Swords here is just, that is our passion. That is our heartbreak. And one of the strongest emotions is heartbreak and having to lose something that you love so dearly. And that is a big, huge driving force, an enormous driving force. And Temperance is coming out now. I think that, again, another good indicator that the American people are feeling the push and shove and the balancing of, keeping our democracy versus losing it. That's what the Three of Swords is kind of referring to, is people witnessing that situation. And then Temperance is a lot of it here. The energy here is about, you know, combining that heartbreak with that power and speed, you know, that we're seeing come out in the energy of the protest. Amazing. So the Queen of Swords for America to represent the American spirit, plus the Ten of Cups. I think that this protest is going to be insanely successful. I think that we're going to see a massive benefit from this entire thing. You know, the more people show up, the better. But this entire thing is going to be a reminder to Donald Trump that he is not loved and he is not worshipped. And the American people, we want our Constitution. We want our rights. We want dignity and fairness. We don't want whatever it is that he's selling. And so the Ten of Cups showing up here is just amazing. That's such a great indicator that this protest is going to go well. And as for a message of warning, are there any messages of warning? Is there anything that we should be cautious of? Anything that we should be concerned about? The American people are strong. We've always been strong. We come from a long line of fighters and survivors in this country. And the pitfalls, let's talk about the pitfalls. The Fool card's coming out to kind of remind us that this is definitely the way forward. But you do have to watch your step. So what is it that we need to watch our step for? The Queen of Wands and the High Priestess. This situation calls for wisdom. There are no cards to indicate that Trump will be able to interfere with the rally in a meaningful way, but that doesn't mean there won't be small pitfalls. So just be cautious. I don't at all see this as a message of warning. In fact, I see it as another reminder of strength. With the Queen of Wands, this is strength, confidence, and the Fool is going in a new direction and charging ahead despite the fact that the path is dangerous. The Fool just keeps going and forging a new path confidently, with confidence and bravery. And with the High Priestess, this is another card about, you know, balance and about left and right, up and down, back and forth, you know, dualities. And I feel like it's just another reminder that there are so many of us. We are strong together. And there isn't really much that can stop us if we all work together. So I am not seeing any type of negativity here. If in the event there are any negative actions taken by the regime, I don't think that they're going to prevail. I don't think that they're going to be much of an issue. And we may see Donald Trump try to intervene in some way, but I think that this protest has so much energy and so much strength behind it, it's just going to crush anything that gets in its path. So if you are planning to go or wanting to go to the No Kings protest, let this be a message to you. Do not be afraid. Do not stay home out of fear or anxieties or intimidations. This is how we get our country back. This is what we do to take back our power and to show this regime that we don't want a dictator. We don't want what he's selling. We want America. We want the American spirit. We want American values. We want our freedoms and human rights. So I'll see you guys out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe and consider sticking around, becoming part of the community. We'd love to have you. Have a great week, everybody.